All right, let's jump right in. If you're running a restaurant, you absolutely know how competitive it is out there. So what we're going to do is break down a real playbook for promotions, a simple framework to help you do more than just get by, but to actually win. This quote just hits the nail on the head. The old rules, they're pretty much gone. Having a fantastic menu and a friendly team, that's just the starting line now. To really make a mark, you've got to create something more, an experience that people can't stop talking about. And that leads us to what I call the modern diner's dilemma. Think about it. They have an almost paralyzing number of choices right on their phone. Your food could be the best in town, but that's just the baseline expectation. The real game is figuring out how to cut through all that noise. And look at this number because it tells a huge story. In just 1 year, the number of restaurants using special events to pull in diners jumped from 25% all the way to 42%. That's not just a small trend. That's a massive industry shift. People are getting proactive. So it's the big question, right? It can feel a little overwhelming. With all these options and all this pressure, where do you possibly start? Well, the good news is there's a surprisingly simple way to think about it. Here it is. This is our roadmap for growth. It's all built on 3 pillars. Super simple: attract, engage, and retain. If you can get these 3 things right, you're not just running a restaurant, you're building a brand. So let's break down each one. Okay, pillar number 1, attraction. This is all about getting brand new faces to walk through that door for the very first time. So what actually works? What are the tried and true tactics? It might sound almost too simple, but a straight-up percentage discount is an absolute powerhouse. Why? Because everybody gets it. But here's the secret sauce. You have to add urgency. 20% off forever is okay, but 20% off this week only? Now that's a call to action. So what's the difference between a discount and something like a buy one, get one deal? Well, a percentage off is like a quick shot in the arm for sales. A BOGO deal, though, that's a smarter, long-term play. To get the deal, people often give you their email, and now you have a direct way to talk to them later. It's brilliant. And of course, it's not just about discounts. You got to think about where your people are. Partnering with delivery apps gets you on thousands of phones instantly. Doing a pop-up at a local festival lets people sample what you're all about. And don't underestimate the power of community. Supporting a local charity shows you care, and people really respond to that. Okay, on to our second pillar, engagement. So you've attracted them, they're sitting at your table, now what? How do you make this meal something they actually remember, something they tell their friends about tomorrow? This is where the magic of exclusivity comes in. A secret menu item or a limited time special. It makes people feel like they're in on a secret. It creates this fear of missing out that drives people to come in right now, not next month. Engagement is where you can have a ton of fun. You can host events like a quiz night. You could try to go viral with something wild like Hell Pizza's Pizza Roulette. You could even create a local legend with a food challenge. And sometimes it's as simple as putting your staff in the spotlight on social media. It just makes everything feel more human. And that brings us to the final and honestly probably the most important pillar, retention. It costs so much more to get a new customer than to keep one you already have. So the real million-dollar question is, how do you make that first-timer a regular for life? And if you need proof of why this matters so much, look at this. Just a tiny 5% bump in how many customers you keep can increase your profitability by a whopping 75%. That's not just a nice little bonus, that's a total game changer for your business. So how do we do it? Well, a rewards program is a great start, but you can get even more personal. Imagine sending a customer a discount on their favorite dish, the one they always order. Or how about making them famous for a day by sharing their photo on your Instagram? It's all about making your best customers feel seen, appreciated, and special. Okay, we've got our 3 pillars: attract, engage, retain. But none of it matters if it's not making you money, right? So underneath all these creative ideas, there has to be a solid financial strategy. Let's talk profitability. And it all starts with this powerful concept called menu engineering. This is basically the science of designing your menu to subtly guide people toward the dishes that are not only popular, but are also the most profitable for you. It's a win-win. This little chart is your best friend. Your stars, they're popular and they make you money, so feature them. Your plow horses sell well but have low margins, so can you make them a little cheaper to produce? Puzzles are profitable, but nobody orders them. Maybe they need a better photo or a more exciting description. And your dogs, well, maybe it's time to take them off the menu. Okay, another massive piece of the profit puzzle is waste. And this number, it's just mind-blowing. 3.2 billion pounds. That's how much food waste costs the hospitality sector in the UK every year. Every bit of that is profit, literally being thrown in the trash. And here's a super practical plan to start tackling that. You have to start by measuring. You can't fix what you can't see. From there, you use your sales data to buy smarter, get creative with leftovers by turning them into specials, and just get the whole team involved. And one last thing on profitability, future-proofing your menu. Just look at this data. About a quarter of both Gen Z and millennials are looking to eat less meat. If you don't have exciting, creative, plant-based options, you're basically telling the next generation of diners to go somewhere else. So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. A truly great promotion isn't really about the discount. It's about telling a story. It's about connection. It's about making your customer feel like they are part of something special. Every single restaurant has its own unique story, its own soul. The real opportunity here is figuring out which of these ideas will help you tell your story best. So the question I'll leave you with is, what's your story and how are you going to get it out there?